When I was about 15 years old, and the only thing that I was sure about, it is that I have to be an artist, that I cannot be something else. I have to express myself. Now, I choose to paint because it was the thing that I was doing the less worse. All the rest I was trying to dance, to write, to sing. That was a catastrophe. I was born in Athens the year that began the war in 1940. My parents went away and we came back when I was 10 years old. So I saw my country like a foreigner because I didn't even speak Greek. I was speaking French. So I have always that way to see Greece with two different eyes, like a Greek and like a foreigner. I went to Paris, I was 18 and a half and already married. At 20 I had my daughter, so that everything was normal. But what it was not normal, that my obsession was to go to the École des Beaux-Arts to work all the time in painting. That was not normal. Only the opportunity to be able to work, but that's it. I was not the kind of person being in the cafes and meeting people and seeing artists. No, that I was very by myself. I had the opportunity to see so much about art and to judge what I thought it was important for me for my work. 15, 20 years after, I began sculpture. For me, I need to touch and feel the reality of something. So sculpture is more real. It is there, you touch it, you go around it. A painting, a drawing is an illusion. You have to create the shadow, you have to create the background. In sculpture, no, it's there. I still do some big aquarels on canvas, but for me, sculpture has been the most important. The plaster, you see in English.
Yes.
You make the resume better.
From the artist we receive the model that must be life size. And from that mold we have to realize a copy in wax. We pour inside the liquid wax and we wait until the wax is cold. We retouch the wax to remove all the small defects that we can have on the surface. When that has been done, we covered everything by refractory material, like ceramic, all around the wax and inside. Then we put in an oven a very high temperature, and we burn those, and we melt the wax. So where now is the wax, and the bamboo remain hollow. And in that hollow we put the bronze.
It's the sculpture who tells you what to do, and it's not you who say to the sculpture what to become. So I was doing always very small little maquettes, 20 centimeters, to be free to change it, to turn it, to do it the way I wanted, what it was my conception of that sculpture that I was doing. And I have those maquettes. Even in the hotels, I was doing little maquettes. Even in the plane, at that time you could. You know, I have my box with my clay. I was doing small maquettes. And one day I came to my studio and I saw all those maquettes drying there. And I thought, well, why don't I take one and I don't try from this maquette to do a jewelry. And like this I begin the jewelry. It always comes out of a maquette of a sculpture. Because that sculpture could be also a monumental sculpture, a medium sculpture, or a jewelry. Is why I call them portable jewelry.
That's the part in which we cover the wax with ceramic. First coat to dry, and we do another coat, and so on. We have more or less 1 centimeter thickness of ceramic.
When I began to work, even in painting or in sculpture, I was figurative. Slowly, because of my conviction, I arrived at a moment that figurative art was making me a little bit too difficulty to compose, because figurative, you can't put 3 heads because you need a volume there, or 6 legs because you need another volume there. With abstraction, you can compose with much freedom. So it's why I became abstract, but always inside me the knowledge of figuration. I'm very organic because I think that art has to be also very sensual. You have to have the feeling that you want to touch it, but also geometry cleans the things up. It was a great art critic in Italy who's called Sgarbi, explained my work, said that I humanized the geometry and also to put some harmony with the background. When I had my exhibition in La Castigliana in Madrid, and I have that beautiful Castigliana, and I have to put my sculptures there, and I wanted, I said, I wish I would have had 80 sculptures. I have only 15. Then I was fighting with the space, but with such a beauty. I felt so full, so full. Of course, when I put up the exhibition, the same when I did it in Saint-Germain-des-Prés, in Zurich, and in China, Peking, always what I saw after is the defects. I say, oh, just me. I have to go back to my studio and try to correct all this. I'm so wrong. I haven't explained what I want to explain, because every time it's exhibition, it's very hard because you see only what is wrong. If you don't doubt, if you are not put your work in question all the time, if you are sure of yourself, that you don't do nothing good. You have to all the time doubt. An artist needs that. There are countries who have charisma, you know, I don't know how you say that. So many foreigners come to say to me, we go to Athens. What an ugly city. It's horrible. They're right. And they say, but yes, you know something? But it is so charming. We feel so good there. So contradiction is all the time. Maybe because all that contradiction and then is the light, is that beautiful sky. I am also very attached because of the food. A child remembers things also of your... When I come back in Greece and I try kefte, tolmadakia, I have tears in my eyes. Maybe I'm more Greek than a Greek. I accept the chaotic, the beauty, the culture, that way to happiness and sadness in 2 minutes, extremes and all that. It was very precious for me. And I felt that I was very much like this. That exaggeration, I have it in me. But also, I have the other part, because also I had a Hungarian mother, that I put all that emotion, all that sort of thing, exaggeration, there's tragedy, joy, in a box, cleaning up and put it in place and try to make it positive. It's why I'm very Greek, but Greek in my way. They will always say, oh, I don't know what happened. What happened to us? They don't know, because you see, that is the thing, that they want to live the moment. It's always, I think, to live that second. So they close their eyes, they look on the other way. They knew, of course they knew inside that something was not getting right. They have the Philotimo, and I'm always hoping that the Philotimo will save us at the last minute. We play also very much with the death. So we like that tragedy. We love to live in the tragedy. We love to feel the end of something. Because in a way we don't believe it. Now in this moment we went on the other side and we are destroying ourselves. And we are destroying not only ourselves but several generations after us. And I'm so sorry for the young people. Fernando Botero. I met him in Paris, it's 36 years ago. He's a great, great artist with a great success, but he never make me feel that I'm less than him. And that is generosity, to be very intelligent, and and a lot of love. We have the great thing that we can speak of what we love the most in the world, every day, all the time. You have several moments that you are working. When you begin to work, you know about 10% of what you are doing, no? And then when you're working and getting on, what you are doing is speaking to you. At that moment, you are very enthusiastic. You think that you are doing the thing that you were waiting all those years to do. That is the moment. That is the moment. Yes, I found it. That's it. I get it. Then you go on, and then say, no, that composition, then you change. When I was younger, I could not leave it. When I see that something that's not good, I was thinking that I will leave somebody who is dying and I will not help it. The mirror helped a lot. So many times when photographers, some people come in my studio and they see the mirror, as I'm a woman, they say, she's so, I don't know, think of herself that she has to look her face all the time, you know. And I explain, a mirror is to see what you are doing inside the mirror because you have everything in opposite. So you can see the balance. You can see the paint falling or the sculpture is falling, the composition is right, you see it in the mirror. It's the most classical thing. So in the beginning you have the mirror who criticize, then you have the time. Doesn't exist nothing who's stronger than time. The sort of invitation that I have to show my work. For me, Peking, every moment was strange because Greece, they sent me like a present. The curator, shall we say, of the exhibition and everything that I was saying, she will say no. So I put this cup, no. I put it there, no. I put that, no. I said, okay, then I bring it back to Greece. I mean, on any place, but what shall I do it if you... And it was going on, so 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, all the monumental in the middle. And she was only drinking hot water. You know, everybody has always the bottle of hot water, they drink hot water. So I came the third day with my hot water. She looked at me like this. That I think that I got there, she said, she began to understand. And we began to again, and she accepted that I would put the sculpture, so the first one, like 1 meter further that you can see. I was so happy that I said, thank you so much. And I took her in my arm and I gave her a big kiss. You know that after that, I have my sculpture in any places I wanted.
House of Graf is a jewellery and diamond company. We're based here in London with a flagship building in New Bond Street. But behind this building there's a whole world of activity. It starts off in Johannesburg, where we're the leading producers of polished diamonds. We employ well over 200 people that cut diamonds from the sites we have in Johannesburg. A site means a purchasing power from De Beers on a regular basis, 10 times a year. We're allocated a certain amount of rough. In fact, we only sell large diamonds, and on large diamonds anything over a carat. The better quality diamonds all end up with us here, which means they get mounted into our jewellery. We make jewellery every day. We create non-stop. And unlike chain stores that might make a little single stone ring 1,000 times, practically everything we do is another design. They're all unique pieces. No, I can honestly say that at every level of this industry, I enjoyed what I was doing. When I was at the bench and I was working and my fingers were becoming sore, I actually enjoyed it. I couldn't wait to get in the morning and make those rings or whatever I was doing, repair jewellery or mount a diamond. I soon went on to the handling of diamonds, and then that was it. Once I touched a diamond, it was magical. I knew that I was meant for this industry. The first thing I can ever remember when I picked up a diamond, it was cold. And yet it was bright and it was alive, and it spoke to me. I looked at it and I thought I had an inherent understanding of this commodity.
What happened with this boxer who happened to come into London that time when I was...
He was a very nice fellow, and I took a view. When I let him walk out of the shop with $1 million worth of merchandise, he said he'll be paying. Well, I don't think a man with such a high profile wouldn't pay. And on his second visit to London, he walked into this showroom, he came to this desk where we're sitting, and he put his arms around me and kissed me, and I said, but Mike, you owe me money. What? Owe you money? He never paid, the son of a gun, white trash, etc., etc., etc. It was scary, but nevertheless, within a few days it was paid up. It was good publicity. When you have a name, you must never be afraid of the competition, because in fact the competition is helping your name too. If you're not a brand, you're just out of it. And I don't think there's any room, really, in the big world, in the big picture, for people in, shall we say, the retail business, because it is a retail business, without a name. And it does take time to create a name, or a lot of money. Art is an expression. The artist expresses himself in the medium that he works in, whether it's paint or sculpture or jewellery, if you like, or a great architect is an artist. And it's expressing your personality and expressing your feelings. But, as you've seen with all the fashion houses, one seems to follow the other. That's because fashion is a word that's crept into art. And I sincerely believe in all the areas where art is a force, fashion is an element. And one has to follow the fashion. Otherwise you're way out, avant-garde, out of it, and maybe not successful. So you have to tie art to commercialism as well. You have to turn art into a profit, otherwise you can't exist. The greatest sale I ever made was when I had to meet somebody, and it ended up we were talking to each other in mid-air because he was a half-hour delayed. And this particular gentleman landed, we watched him land. Our aircraft was already on the ground. It was in no man's land because we hadn't yet gone through customs, etc. I was able to get off my aircraft, walk over to his aircraft. His ladder came up for security. He was a very important figure. And we made a deal on his aircraft on the runway for multi-millions of dollars. The commodity was left on his plane, which he put into the safe which he had on his plane. He took off and went back to his country. We did make more and more important pieces in the Brunei explosion, for sure. When I compare the quality that we have sold there compared to the quality of the crown jewels, for instance, yes, the English crown jewels or the Iranian crown jewels or whatever have you, there is nowhere, no place on earth where there are better creations and better quality stones. Every stone certified, usually D flawless or at least D or E color. Recently we cut the largest D color, flawless, brilliant diamond in the world.
How many carats was that?
Well, it finished off at just 91 carats, 90 carat 97, and there were satellite stones from the rough. But we acquired the rough from De Beers. We designed the stones that we wanted to get out of the rough, or were able to get out of the rough. We cut the stone, we had a ceremony in Monte Carlo, and we sold the stone within 24 hours. It was one of the world's most valuable diamonds.